Good morning, students. Welcome you all for Next Generation Learning. Today, we are going to see the subject Physics, Class 9, Chapter number 8, Motion. Topics: the last class homework answer, 8.5 Equations of Motion by Graphical Method, 8.6 Uniform Circular Motion. The last class homework. See the question. Plot a velocity time graph for following table. So you have to plot a velocity time graph for this reading. Velocity time graph for object A. Time in R. Velocity in kilometer per hour. When time is 0, the velocity is 40. When time is 1 hour, the velocity is 40. When time is 2 hours, the velocity is 40. When time is 3 hours, velocity is 40. When time in 4 hours, the velocity is 40. The time is represented along x-axis and velocity is represented along y-axis. The unit of time is hour, so here I written hour. The unit of velocity is kilometer per hour, so here I written kilometer per hour. The time start with 0 and end with 4. So here I took 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The velocity value, minimum value is 40 and maximum value also 40. So I taken 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. The next, see when time is 0, the velocity 40. So I mark the point here. When time is 1 hour, the velocity is 40. So this is 1 hour 40. When time is 2 hours, the velocity is 40. So I marked here. When time is 3 hours, the velocity is 40. When time is 4 hours, the velocity is 40. After marking the point, you have to join the line. So this line shows that the object at rest. I chosen 2 points in the line A and B. I drawn the perpendicular line to the x-axis and also y-axis. So from this graph we can calculate acceleration. But in homework I given just to plot a velocity time graph for given values. You need not to find the acceleration, you just plot the graph. The next one, time in second, velocity in meter per second. See the value, when time is 0, the velocity also 0. When time is 5 seconds, the velocity is 10. When time is 10 seconds, the velocity is 20. When time is 15 seconds, the velocity is 30. When time is 20 seconds, the velocity is 40. When time is 25, the velocity is 50. When the time is 30 seconds, the velocity is 60. The time is represented along x-axis and velocity is represented along y-axis. The unit of time is second, so here I written second. The unit of velocity is meter per second, so meter per second. The next, here the time start with 0 and end with 30. So I chosen 0, 5, 10, 50, 20, 25, 30. Here the velocity start with 0 and end with 60. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Then time is 0, the velocity is 0. Time is 5, the velocity is at 10. time is 10, velocity is 20. When time is 15, the velocity is 30. When time is 20, the velocity is 40. When time is 25, the velocity is 50. And when the time is 30, the velocity is 60. After marking the point, I join the line. I got the straight line. This straight line shows that the object moves at uniform motion. So I chosen 2 points from this line A and D. I draw the perpendicular line to the x-axis and also y-axis. So from this we can calculate the acceleration. The next, equations of motion by graphical method. There are the three equations. One is v equal to u plus at, and another one is s equal to ut plus half at square. The third one, 2as equal to v square minus u square. The last class we derived the first equation of motion v equal to u plus at. Now we are going to derive the equation number 2 and 3. Once again I recall the first equation of motion. You have to take velocity time graph. The time is represented x-axis and velocity is represented y-axis. The object start here at point A and end with point B. Initially it has a velocity u and final velocity is v. From P we can draw a perpendicular line to x-axis and also y-axis. I given the name C and E. Then I drawn the parallel line to OC here, that is D. Here BC is the final velocity and OA is the initial velocity. So this equation I already discussed in the last class. Now I am going to discuss the second equation of motion, S equal to ut plus half at squared. How we can derive this equation from this graph? Let us consider that object has traveled a distance s in time t under uniform acceleration a. The distance traveled by the object is obtained by the area enclosed within O, A, B, C under the velocity time graph AB. See, we know that the velocity time graph is used to find the distance traveled by the object. So here the object start at A and end with B. It take the time t. So it cover this distance. So O, A, B, C is the distance traveled by the object A. So how to calculate this distance traveled by the object? The distance traveled, the distance is represented by the S letter. So the distance S traveled by the object is given by S equal to area O, A, B, C. This is the area O, A, B, C, which is trapezium. The shape of this O, A, B, C is trapezium. You know that this is a rectangular and this is square and this is circular. The trapezium is nothing but this is the trapezium. So S equal to area OABC. So which is a trapezium. This trapezium is divided into two. See here. Here A, B, D is triangle. O, A, D, C is rectangular. So the area of OABC trapezium is written area of the rectangular OADC plus area of a triangle ABD. The next, The area of the rectangular, what is the area of the rectangular? L into B is the area of the rectangular. Here this is a L and this is a B. So OA into OC, that means L into B. So instead of area of a rectangular, I written OA into OC, that is length and breadth. And what is the formula of area of a triangle? Half into BH. The triangle, if you take the triangle, how to find the area of the triangle? Half into B into H. This is a B and this is a H. So in this, here this is B and this is H. So we can write the area of the triangle half into B. B is AD and H is BD. Now you can substitute the value of OA, OC and BD. See, the value of OA is U. So substitute. And the value of OC, the OC is time T. Substitute. Then half. The value of AD, the AD also T. Substitute. The value of BD, in first equation of motion, we know that BD equal to AD. So AT. Now see here, U into T, UT, half, T into T, T square, A. So S equal to UT plus half AT squared. So from this graph, we derived the second equation of motion, S equal to UT plus half AT squared. Do you understand how to calculate the second equation of motion? You have to take the O, A, B, C shape. This is a trapezium and it contains triangle and rectangular. So we have to substitute area of the rectangular and area of the triangle. From that we can calculate the second equation of motion, S equal to UT plus half AT squared. So the third equation of motion is 2AS equal to V squared minus U squared. So the third equation of motion, also we can calculate the distance traveled by the object. So here the distance, we know that it traveled this much of distance. So here the distance S equal to area of a trapezium OABC. The area of the trapezium, we can write sum of parallel sides, this is a parallel side, into height. Here this is taken as a height. This is a parallel sides. S equal to sum of parallel sides. What is a parallel side? BC is one parallel side. OA is the another parallel side. So OA plus BC into what is the height? OC is the height. If you take a trapezium, this is the shape of the trapezium. So the area of the trapezium, the formula of area for trapezium is sum of the parallel sides into height. So this is the parallel sides of trapezium. OA in plus BC into OC, because the formula is a sum of parallel sides into height. So into OC by 2. Here you have to substitute the value. OA is U and BC is V and OC is T by 2. The next step, now we will find the value of T from first equation of motion, because see here in this equation 2AS equal to V square minus U square. we have to, here there is no t term. So we have to remove the t from this equation. So how to remove the t from this equation? You have to take the first equation of motion, v equal to u plus at. So at equal to v minus u. T equal to v minus u by a. So instead of t, you have to substitute here, substitute the t value. If you substitute the t value, s equal to, see, s equal to u plus v. Instead of t, we can substitute v minus u, here a, so here 2a. Now the 2 will come here, so 2as equal to u plus v minus u. In max we know that a minus b squared equal to a plus b and a minus b. The same as here, u plus v and u minus v. So here we can write u square minus v square. So v plus u, v minus u, we can write v square minus u square. So instead of that, I written v square minus u square. So from this, we can rearrange v square equal to 2a plus u square. So this is the third equation of motion we derived from the graphical method. Do you understand how we can calculate 2as equal to v square minus u square? Just you can take the trapezium, and the area of the trapezium formula is s equal to sum of parallel sides into height by 2. Here the parallel side is AO is the one parallel side and another one is BC, and height is taken as OC. So I written OA plus BC into OC by 2. Then we know the value of OA, BC and OC, substitute it. Then in third equation there is no t term. So I have to remove the t from this equation. So I taken the equation from first equation, v equal to u plus at. From this I derived t equal to v minus u by a. This t value is substituted in this equation. Then finally I got 2as equal to v square minus u square. So this is the third equation of motion. I hope you understood. The next topic is uniform circular motion. What is meant by uniform circular motion? When a body moves in a circle, it is called circular motion. In other words, motion in circle is circular motion. Maybe if you are moving circular, that motion also called circular motion. So when a body moves in a circle, it is called circular motion. Before going to study uniform circular motion, we will discuss how a circular path can be considered to be made up of indefinite number of tiny sides, and a body moving along such a circular path changes its direction of motion continuously. Or you understand this line? If you take a circular, it has infinity number of sides. How we can say that the circle have infinity number of sides? Maybe the object move in this circle, it can change the direction continuously. How? We will see the answer for this question. You can take a rectangular track, mark the point A, B, C, D. The object move from A to B, B to C and C to D and D to A. When it move A to B, its direction is south. When it move B to C, west. C to D, north. D to A, east. So it changed the direction at 4 times. So see here, see the definition. Let us consider an example of motion of a body along closed path. An athlete along rectangular track ABCD. Let us assume that the athlete runs at uniform speed on the right straight paths AB, BC, CD and TA. In order to keep himself on track, he quick change his speed at the corners. He quickly change his speed at the corner. How many times will the athlete have to change his direction of motion while he completes one round? So maybe athlete goes on the rectangular track means it have 4 corners. At 4 corners his speed must be changed. So how many times the athlete have to change his direction to complete a one round? He have to change 4 times because the rectangular have 4 corners. Maybe the athlete runs along the hexagonal track. It has A, B, C, D, E, F. It has 6 corners, so that the athlete have to change his direction at 6 times. Maybe the athlete runs on octagonal shape. So it have 8 corners A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the octagonal have 8 corners. So the 8 times athlete have to change their direction. So if the number of sides increasing means the change in direction also increased. Now if the track has infinite number of tiny sides, if you take a circle, it has infinity number of sides. Then the shape of the track became a circle. When the track have infinity number of sides, then we can say that that track is circle. And when the athlete runs along a circular track, then his direction of motion is continuously changed. Why? Because the circular have infinity number of sides. If you take a rectangular, it have 4 sides, 4 corner. Hexagonal means it has 6 corners. Octagonal means it has 8 corners. But if you take a circle, it have infinite number of sides. So due to that infinite number of sides, when the athlete runs through a circular track, his direction of motion continuously changing. So when your body moves along a circular path, then the direction of motion keeps changing continuously. If an athlete moves with a constant speed along a circular path, then the velocity of the athlete will not be constant. How you say that the velocity of the object does not constant? Because the velocity is dependent on direction. If the direction changed means the velocity of the object also changed. So if an athlete or any person run through a circular track means his direction continuously changed. If the direction continuously changed means the velocity of the athlete will not be constant. When the velocity of the object is changed, that means not constant, we can say that the object is said to be accelerated. See the definition. Because if an athlete moves with a constant speed along a circular path, then the velocity of athlete will not be constant, because velocity is the speed in a specified direction. How we can define the velocity? Speed with distance with direction. And here the direction of speed changes continuously. Since the velocity changes continuous, therefore the motion along a circular path is said to be accelerated. So if any object move in circular path means it must be accelerated. Why it must be accelerated? Because the velocity of the object is not a constant. See here, when the object is at position A, their direction is east. When the object at B, this direction is south. So that the direction of the object is continuously changed in circular track. This is an activity. Take a piece of thread and tie a small stone at one end. Move the stone in circular path with a constant speed by holding thread at one end. Let the stone go by releasing the thread. Can you tell the direction in which the stone moves after it is released? If once I released the stone, in what direction the stone will move? By repeating the activity for a few times and releasing the stone at a different position, first release the stone at position A, then position B. Check whether the direction in which the stone moves remains the same or not. So you have to do this activity in your home. You have to take a thread and also stone and tie a stone at one end and hold the thread at another end. You have to rotate the stone, then release the stone and see the direction of the stone. So if carefully note, on being released, the stone moves along a straight line tangential to the circular path. What is meant by the tangential? If you take a circle, I draw the tangential line. So this tangential line must be touch any one point of the circle. If maybe I drawn here, the line touch here. But drawn here means the line touch here. So this line is a tangential line. So in what direction the released stone will move? The stone will move the tangential direction. So if the position of the stone is here means you can draw the tangential line to this point. So the stone move in this direction. If maybe the stone is here means if you release the thread, you can draw the tangential line. So in this direction, the stone will move. This is because once the stone is released, it continues to move along the direction it has been moving at that instant. This shows that the direction of motion changed at every point. So from this we can say that any object move in a circular path, it changes their direction at every time. So the direction of motion changed at every point when the stone was moving along the circular path. So from this activity, we learned that if any object move in a circular path, it changes their direction at every time. Due to that change in direction, the velocity is not constant. When the velocity is not constant, here the object is accelerated. and here a force is needed to produce circular motion. So here I rotate the stone along the circular path. So here I have to give some force on the stone. Here the centripetal force is used to the stone move in circular. So the object need force to move in circular path. The examples of uniform circular motion: artificial satellites move in uniform circular motion around the earth. So this is an artificial satellite. It move in uniform circular motion. So here the gravitational forces help us to move the artificial satellite in uniform circular motion. The earth moves around the sun in uniform circular motion. So these are also example of uniform circular motion. The next one, an athlete moving on a circular track with a constant speed exhibits uniform circular motion. This is an athlete is moving on a circular track with a constant speed. A tip of second scan of watch expect uniform circular motion on the circular dial of the watch. So these are the real-time example of uniform circular motion. I hope you understood what is meant by uniform circular motion. If any object move in circular path, we can say that the object are in uniform circular motion. In uniform circular motion, the speed of the object is constant, but the velocity of the object is not constant. Why? The direction of the object is changed continuously. So how to calculate the speed of your body in uniform circular motion? If you take a circle, this is a circle. If an object start with A and complete one round, so the circumference of the circle is 2 by r. So the object traveled 2 by r distance at a time t. So we can write v equal to, the v is nothing but speed equal to distance by time. Here the distance is 2 by 2 pi r. Why? Because the circumference of the circle is taken as a distance. So t by t equal to distance equal to 2 pi r by t. So from this formula we can calculate the speed of a body in uniform circular motion. If maybe the object cover 2 complete round means you can multiple 2 into 2 by r. So 4 times means 4 into 4 by r. It covers only half means you can write half into 2 by r. So from the circumference we can calculate the speed of the object. So these are the homework questions for you. Derive the following equation of motion by graphical method. V equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at squared, v squared equal to u squared plus 2as. The next question, what is meant by uniform circular motion? Give 2 examples of uniform circular motion. The third question, name the type of motion in which a body has constant speed but not constant velocity. See, take your book and see the topic 8.5, equation of motion by graphical method. And there are 3 equations of motion: v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at squared, and 2as equal to v square minus u square. And see here, they derived v equal to u plus at, the first equation of motion. And in second equation of motion is derived by the formula area OABC, which is a trapezium, the area of the rectangular plus area of the triangle. From this they derived s equal to ut plus half at square. Then the third equation of motion, using the area of trapezium OABC, they find the third equation of motion 2as equal to v square minus u square. Then see the topic 8.6 uniform circular motion and rectangular track, hexagonal track, octagonal track and circular track. And we derived the speed formula v equal to 2 by r by t. And the activity I discussed. The next class I am going to teach the numerical problems related to the equations of motion by graphical method. Thank you for watching.